Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, today's video, we're going to look at the Type 5. We're going to revisit the Type 5 Heavy, which is becoming one of my favorite heavy tanks in tier 10. It's just insane. It really is insane. Now, you could have actually got your hands on this because Wargaming released it in crates for gold. Yes, believe it or not. Now, we're not going to say that crates are worth it, because again, you could still have to spend a lot of money to be able to get the tank. But we've been complaining recently about everything coming in store for money, for real money. At least the crates are for gold, so that's something. Is it worth it? Now, straight off the bat, I'm going to say no, because no crate is worth it. And you know, whether I do it or not, I'm not going to recommend that to anyone else, because I could get lucky and get it on my first crate. You might not get lucky and have to spend thousands and thousands of gold to be able to get that tank. So I'm not going to say it's worth it while it is in crates, but you do have the opportunity if you do have gold lying around. So we are on Blitzkit. Now, if you haven't seen this website or this app, it is actually a very good app. I talk about BlitzStars a lot. Well, I used to talk about BlitzStars a lot, and I still use BlitzStars, especially for Hall of Fame replays. That is basically where I get all my high damage replays from. But Blitzkit, I mean, it's another level. It really is another level. It allows you to look at armor profile. You can look at it from any tank. So here we are looking at the Type 5 Heavy, and we're looking at it from a medium tank. So yes, we could choose a heavy tank, but let's look at it from a medium tank to see what the Leopard 1 sees when it is up against a Type 5 Heavy. And that is what this is what it sees. I mean, look how red this tank is from a Leopard 1. Like, absolutely crazy. Of course, you can switch to the gold, which then becomes a little bit lighter. And then as soon as you start to angle, you can see the grey. That is when you are starting to sort of get penned easy, when you start to angle. So ultimately, you don't want to angle in this tank. You just want to look directly at the tank in front of you. That is how you are going to succeed. Now, of course, if you are on a ridge, you do need to hide that lower plate, because the more gun depression you sort of put on, the lower that the lower plate, sorry, is less armor. So you do need to be careful of that. So yeah, that is looking at this tank now from a Leopard using heat directly on. Like, absolutely crazy. So let's just have a look at a heavy tank. Let's just see what a heavy tank sees when it looks at the let's have a look at the E5 when it looks at the Type 5. Not much different, but of course you switch to the heat, then it does become a lot weaker. So ultimately, you then probably, if a heavy tank is looking at you, maybe wiggle about, make it difficult, because if you just stand still, they will be able to aim at your weak points on this tank. But ultimately, the armor profile is insane. It really is insane. Now, for me, the best part of the tank is the camouflage. I think this camouflage looks amazing. It's one of the best camouflages in the game. Now, in my video a couple of days ago, I did say probably the grill is better, but looking at this, do you know what? I do think this is better. I do think this is the best camouflage in the entire game. Yeah, I love it. So let's look at the stats, and then we'll talk about the tank a bit more in the battle. So the turret is 320 millimeters, so very strong turret, and your hull is 240. Now that is standard. Of course, you can get that a bit more depending on your angles. So again, do be careful of that. Do be careful of your angles, because you can actually think you're trying to get better armor by angling, but you're probably making it worse and a lot easier for the enemy to penetrate. Not only that, but your side is actually pretty good as well. I mean, the rear of your turret is 200 millimeters, and yeah, the rear of your hull is 180. So yeah, you're going to get penetrated, but it is still a very heavily armored tank. Now, your DPM is 2,209, so again, nothing special, but for a heavy tank, it's pretty much standard. However, your reload time is 19 seconds. So it is a very long reload. So you do have to be careful with every single shot that you have. You want to pen every single shot with this tank. Now, your penetration on your standard AP is 275, and your premium AP is lower at 221, and your HE is 89. But your standard AP damage is 700, your premium AP damage is 800, and then your HE is 1100. So of course, if you can get that HE out, do so, because you know, doing 1100 in any tank is very, very satisfying. Your aim time is 4.6 and gun dispersion 0.407. Of course, for a tank like this, it isn't going to be anything special. And you do have 8 degrees of gun depression, which is actually quite nice, with a top speed of 27 kilometers per hour, but an average speed of 24. So it maintains the speed. So yes, it's not quick, but at least it maintains that 27 kilometers per hour. So let's get into a game, and then again, like I said, we will talk about the tank just a little bit more. So the Type 5 Heavy, now it is quite controversial, because those of you that have been around for a while should remember Wargaming always stating that the Type 5 Heavy will never be in the game. So many people called for this tank to come in the game. Like, everybody wanted it, but because it was so big and the Blitz maps they're quite small, the maps are quite small, Wargaming would always say it's not coming. Now, if you've ever logged onto a Wargaming stream like back in the day, this was spammed, absolutely spammed. Everyone would spam, when is the Type 5 Heavy coming? When is the Type 5 Heavy coming? And Alexandra would always say, guys, stop asking, it's never coming. The Type 5 Heavy is never coming to the game. Well, I'm not being funny, but I'm playing the Type 5 Heavy because it is in the game. Now, we are in a bit of a situation here. We've got tanks all around. Now, the worst thing that Backtrack could have done is try to run away, because I was able to focus on him and then get him gone. And you can see I'm only trying to aim at one tank here, which is the WZ-121. And then once he's gone, we can then aim at the Kranwagen, get our angles correct, and as you can see, we are now going to get a bounce. That was a bit of a lucky bounce. I actually turned at the right moment, but we have bounced 1480 damage. Now, we're not going to do anything special when it comes to damage. I just wanted to show how this armor profile on this tank can perform when there is tanks all around you. And again, there, the grill, unfortunately, so that's 2000 block damage. The Kranwagen, another block damage there, 2470, and I do end up getting killed. But the fact that we got 3.5k damage very, very easily, we managed to block 2400 damage very, very easily, and it's not a one-off. It is not a one-off with this tank. You can do that on a regular battle, like any battle. You could do that, and then the next battle do it again. It's you know, a regular occasion you can do that much block damage, and that's not even a lot. 2400 is not even a lot compared to what I've seen and had. I've had over 5000, 6000, and you, like I said, you can do that regularly with this tank. So now is the opportunity. I mean, I don't know if it's still in store. Let's just have a look. If you want to spend your gold on crates, then do so. If you've got the gold to waste, then, you know, why not? At least it is for gold rather than actual money, so at least that's something, I suppose. But overall, yeah, I mean, it probably isn't worth it because you might not get lucky. Of course, it is in these Beast Hunt containers here, which ultimately you can get the Type 5 Heavy at the end of it. So yeah, I mean, 10 crates for 8,000 gold, I don't think that's bad. I mean, the drop rate isn't the greatest for the Type 5. I mean, 0.05. So yeah, good luck getting it. It is quite low. But the fact that you can get it for gold if you've got a lot of gold hanging around, at least that's something. Then that's, you know, there's a chance of getting it. So let's just have a look. I don't think there is any more. No, there's not. So that's my opinion. I do think the Type 5 Heavy is OP in the right hands. And again, angling is very, very important. Don't angle too much in the tank because it does make your armor a lot weaker. So let me know in the comments, guys, are you a Type 5 Heavy fan? Do you have it? Do you love it as much as I do? Let me know in the comments below. And if you do, hit that subscribe button. But for now, hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69 and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.